Hi, my name is Nakia, and I'm with Divine Elements of Design in the Decorator's Voice. I'm a certified interior decorator, professional organizer, and planning and productivity strategist. And if those are topics that you're interested in, please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. As the title suggests, I'm going to do a review of the Netflix original series titled MAID. And my review is going to be in the eyes of a home professional. I've been a home professional for over a decade, and I actually have a housekeeping services. The title of the movie or the TV show is called MAID, but in this video, when I talk about the lady, I'm going to call her a housekeeper because she really is more of a housekeeper than a maid. In my part of the U.S., maids are the ones that live in your home, or they're there all the time like a butler or something. But if someone comes in for a few hours and cleans, we technically think of them as housekeepers. So a very, very brief synopsis of this movie or TV show is about a young lady named Alex. She's in her early 20s. She's in a financially and a mentally abusive relationship with her daughter's dad. He controlled everything, and he started getting a little violent with her, and she decided, hey, you know, enough is enough. She left the home, took her daughter, and she was homeless for a while, and she ended up having to get a job as a maid. So when I was watching the movie or series, I kind of thought, you know, it's an excellent movie, excellent series, but there are some things that I didn't really feel too comfortable with, and there were some things that I wanted people to know if they were interested in getting a housekeeper, some of the things they don't need to worry about, because if you've never had a housekeeper and you saw this show, you may be a little bit leery about some of the things. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So everything from now is a spoiler. If you have not seen it, and you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and click off now and then come back and watch it. But the spoilers aren't like really, really major spoilers, because these are some of the things that you're going to see actually during the trailer. So first things first is, you know, our main character, Alex, she ended up having to become a maid. She was getting paid $12 an hour. Now, the person that cleans your home, they're responsible for so much. And I actually call it like heavy lifting. If someone is still getting $12 an hour right now in 2021, 2022, and your agency is giving you $12 an hour, or you're paying an agency and they're only giving their workers $12 an hour, definitely give them a tip, definitely pay them more, definitely hire them outside, because that is such a slap in the face. You know, I would rather go get a job at Walmart or McDonald's making that instead of scrubbing toilets and having to deal with homeowners and things like that for $12. So, I mean, that's oh my God, so disrespectful. That's such highway robbery. So much stuff that the person has to deal with for $12. And in the movie or the Netflix original series, she didn't even get that her first time, because she has to pay for her uniform. She had to pay for her cleaning supplies. And after cleaning the major home, her first home, she was only going to bring in like $32 or something, which is ridiculous. And that's one of the things when you go through a company, no matter what the company, you know, charges you, they're going to get their cut. They're going to get their cut, and they're going to give the actual housekeeper that's on their hands and knees cleaning and scrubbing baseboards, they're going to give them pennies. So that's one thing I did want to bring to light. You know, if you have an opportunity to hire someone directly, you know, I actually, you know, that's great, especially if it's someone you've used for several years. You can hire them directly, you can pay them directly, and then they can get, you know, a major cut of, they get all the cut of their money. The second thing I wanted to mention is that housekeepers do a lot of research. And I've actually, you know, I still have friends. I still in a different Facebook group with housekeepers. And if there's like a stain or something, or if, you know, I want to know how to get something out or the best way to clean something, you know, housekeepers really do their research and try to find ways to make things easier. So in the movie, when you saw Alex, you know, tell the homeowner that, and this actually was a noni, Nikki Rose, and she was horrible at first. She was absolutely horrible. But she told her that she was going to come back and she was going to make some type of special concoction to clean the grout in her shower. So something like that really does happen. They may not come back the next day and do it for free, because we respect people's times and we don't want them to come back and do it for free on Thanksgiving. But something like that really can happen. They will do some research and they'll come back and they'll, you know, fix a problem, they'll clean something. So that is very realistic. Things like that does happen. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, yes, as, you know, a homeowner or someone that is getting their house clean, you may have certain particular items that you may leave available for the housekeeper to use. You may wonder, like, well, why aren't they using, you know, my items? You want them to use your items so they can probably save their own items, or the smells is something that you like. What I'll say in an instance like that is have your items available. If they must use your items or cleaning supplies because you want them to use those cleaning supplies, just let them know. But the reason why they like to use their own cleaning supplies is because they know what works. They know what solutions to use. They know how much to use it. They know what it's going to do. So don't find it offensive if the housekeeper doesn't want to use, you know, your special toilet bowl cleaner or all-purpose cleaner, if they want to use what they have. For me, whatever they have is fine. Whatever she uses is great. The smells are fine. You know, for me, clean is clean. Clean smells clean. I don't care if it smells like lavender clean, fabuloso clean, lemon pine clean. Clean is clean. It's better than 20 kids and a dog and a husband. So that's the reason why that cleaners want to use their own products. Okay, so this one, in the show, Alex went to the home of noni Nikki Rose, and she went out of town. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing her name. I'm so sorry. She's such a phenomenal actress, and I know I'm mispronouncing her name. But Alex went to her home for Thanksgiving to do all of her cleaning, and she drank her wine and got drunk. Typically, because I can't speak for every housekeeper in the world, I mean, that's impossible, but I've never had a problem with someone, a professional, drinking my wine or drinking something that I didn't want them to. Normally, and this is kind of embarrassing, but when I was in the military, I had a housekeeper cleaning base housing, you know, because I was working, going to school, taking care of babies, getting ready to fight a war. You know, I had my housekeeper come in once a month, and it was like $70, and they cleaned. But I would always have things available. I would let them know that, hey, if you want some water or something, some juice, whatever I had available, you know, I made it known that they can have that. Never has anyone drank anything. And definitely they never snuck and drank wine and drank all my wine and got drunk. So that does not happen. But I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, because it can happen. Also, oh God, I really didn't like that they put this in the movie, but she got a Tinder date and had him come to the home, and that is wrong on so many levels. I mean, I know the movie or the TV show came from a book, and the book was, you know, several years old, so I'm sure they just added that part in just for, you know, an effect, but I've never had anyone bring someone into my home when I wasn't there and pretend that my home was theirs, especially a stranger. I mean, that's wrong, and that's dangerous on so many different levels. So I've never even heard of anyone that have had that experience before. So I think that that is something just written for the movie. If you are thinking about getting a housekeeper, do not let that part deter you, because that's not standard. That's not typical. Also, boundaries are normally kept. Well, I'm not going to say normally. They should be kept. I actually did have a lady come to my home once when I was looking for a new housekeeper, and she talked so much about all of her personal things. I don't know if she was wanting me to feel sorry for her, but she talked more than she was cleaning. I was in my office cleaning, and she just came in and started talking. That's never happened to me before. Unfortunately, I didn't hire her because I felt uncomfortable. But you should not feel uncomfortable in your own home. You should not feel uncomfortable if someone's cleaning for you. I mean, that's just like if you were getting a massage or getting your hair done. You know, typically those people in those service industries, they know what to say and how to say it, and they'll know if you're a talker. And so in the movie, you know, when she did not have any boundaries when she actually asked noni Nikki Rose if she could live with her and use her address, and not even live with her. She asked if she can live with her and said, you know, she can be the nanny and she can bring her daughter, and that was just way too much. And then she also said, well, can I just use your address for to put my daughter in your school district, which is fraud, and why would you even ask a complete stranger who's a lawyer something like that? So typically those type of boundaries, I've never met anyone that would come out and just ask something like that. So if you were interested in getting a housekeeper and you thought that boundaries could not be kept, that probably would not happen. One thing about the movie that I did like, so at the end, she started taking on some of the housekeeping, like hoarding jobs, where people, like, it was like a lady and she was like 9 months pregnant and her house was, it was a hoarding situation. It was really sad. It was a hoarding situation. But our main character, Alex, she went in and she helped her. With my interior decorating organization, I have came across hoarding situations. At one time, I had a Groupon out there for, you know, 2 hours worth of organization services. And then when I would actually go to the services, it would be a hoarding situation to where a child may have purchased the Groupon for their mom who's a hoarder. So in those instances, I did help because the people really needed the help. And they had the Groupon that was purchased by their child, and you know, and they kept apologizing. So I worked my 2 hours, even though I'm not a housekeeper, even though I don't do hoarderings, but for those situations, I've done it. So my advice in this situation is you definitely do need help. It's always better to have someone with you. Even myself, sometimes if I'm working on a big project in my own home, I may need someone, you know, a family member or, you know, my adult children or something to kind of help me and just kind of be there with me, just kind of talk to me and just different things and kind of encourage me. Because sometimes, like when I was doing my closet renovation, and I'll put a link to that video, I had so much clothes. And my sister came and she was like, you know, are you ever going to wear this again? I'm like, but it's so cute. She's like, you're never going to wear this again. Just go ahead and just get rid of it. So I'll put it in a donation box. So if you are a hoarder, there is nothing wrong with asking for help. Hire a professional to come help you. Your friends are great, but you need a professional. You need an outside person to come and, you know, like I say, do all the heavy lifting. It's not necessarily heavy lifting, but it's just doing the hard stuff that you may not be able to do. So when she did get that, when Alex did go and help those hoarders, I mean, she helped them so much and they definitely appreciated it. So if you are a hoarder, I highly recommend you getting the service. Also, keep in mind, you know, you don't know what type of situation a person is in. You know, be kind to everyone. Be respectful to everyone. You know, some of the parts of the videos, people were looking down to her. People were making comments about her. This is the main character, Alex, you know, about her being a housekeeper and different things. You know, first of all, being a housekeeper or a maid is a very respectable and much needed job. But, you know, when she became homeless and she had to provide, you know, live on public assistance, and she was just trying to get the help she needed, you know, just remember, you know, be kind to people because you never know where someone's coming from. I didn't like the way Anika Noni, Rose's character, and her name was Regina. We're going to start calling her Regina from now on. So I didn't like the way Regina was just so mean to her. You know, she was just horrible in the beginning. Now at the end, she did a complete 180. I mean, she went out of her way to help her. But at the beginning, you know, she was just horrible and she was just talking to her like an animal, you know, like, do you know what compost is? Or should I spell it out? I mean, I didn't like that at all. But anyway, just be kind to people because you don't know what situation it is. Our main character was living at a train station, you know, for a night. So that's just my thing, my take on this one part. Just be kind to people. Another thing that I want to mention is referrals. Referrals. Those are wonderful. So in our story, Alex, when she started helping out the ladies that were hoarding and helping them declutter and get their home ready, you know, they asked, hey, can, you know, I give your number to someone? Can I refer you? And she said yes. So referrals is the best way. Don't be embarrassed if you have a housekeeper. I know some people have them and they don't want their family to know for a couple reasons. One reason could be that they're ashamed of needing help, which you should not be ashamed. No one should be ashamed. If you're working or if you're a stay-at-home mom, you need a housekeeper just as much as the next person. So it doesn't matter if you're working, stay at home, 1 kid, 20 kids, or whatever. If you need help, there is nothing wrong with getting help. That's how we're going to be able to stay, mentally able to take care of ourselves, take care of our children. So if you need that help, go for it. So if that's the reason why, let someone know, hey, if you're not going to come over and clean the house for me, don't get mad at me or don't say anything negative about me having someone, clean my home. Sometimes people don't tell referrals or give referrals because they want to make it seem like they did everything themselves. I'm going to tell you, for when I get help with a lot of things, I do a lot of things, but I am not afraid to get help. I have someone that does the housekeeping, every other week. Now, me and my children, we do everything else. We still do our daily and our weekly chores, but some of the big things, the heavy lifting that I call, I do have help for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to say I do everything. I don't wash my car myself. I don't bathe my dogs myself. I don't clean my carpet myself. I do have help for some of those things, and then that way I can spend my time to do other important things. I wrote a blog post once about things that you can outsource to make more time for your family and friends. I don't know if I have a YouTube video on that, but if I don't, I will make one, because there are so many things that you need to do to outsource if you can. In the TV show, Alex's mom, who's played by Andie MacDowell, her name was Paula. She was high-spirited. From the reviews I've watched, people either really liked her or they really didn't. I actually liked her. She was a little comic relief when things were just so bad. But one of the things that I took from the movie and that I'm always expressing is you have to keep your financial papers, your important papers in order. So Paula was Andie's mom, Alex's mom, but she was inherited a home from her mother. So it was probably, 70 years old or something, or however old the home was. It was her mother's home that she grew up in, and she inherited, and she ended up, her boyfriend, and this is the mom, her boyfriend put the home on like Airbnb and then ended up renting it to someone, and the mom had no paperwork to show that she was the owner of the home. She didn't have, mortgage documents or her lease, or not lease, her deed, or she didn't have anything. And she ended up being homeless herself. And she had a full home. But she ended up being homeless and having to live in her car because, she didn't have the home. She didn't have the paperwork for the home. And then ultimately, her husband, he was a boyfriend at the time, then he married her. He was getting the money from the tenants, but he wasn't paying her mortgage. So she ended up losing her home. But if she would have had those documents from the very beginning, she could have evicted the people that were in there. She could have paid her rent or her mortgage herself. It was just so unfortunate that she lost her mom's home because she did not have her financial documents and her important papers prepared. So you definitely have to have those items. That part was really sad for me. It kind of reminded me of another movie. What was the name of it? It was a Tyler Perry movie where the daughter inherited her mom's home, but she ended up, having to get second liens and mortgages and all that stuff. And she ended up losing the home. Oh, that's just so sad. I mean, you work, buy a home, leave it to your child, pass away, and then your child loses it. I know it happens every day, but we just have to be so much better with keeping things in order, the paperwork, finances, and things like that. So anyway, that was kind of one of the things that I really, it touched me in that movie. I'm like, okay, this is why you have to have your affairs and paperwork and everything in order. Another thing when we talk about affairs and paperwork in order, there was a part of the series, I really don't even understand why this was even a part of the series. That storyline could have left, but it was the home that they went to that they were going to do an estate sale for. So the cleaners had to go in. The lady had passed away, but her son was like a wanted murderer or something. That whole storyline, I don't even understand why it was in there. But anyway, this is why having, inventory of your home and knowing what you're going to do with your items is important, because one of the housekeepers stole some very, expensive items. I forgot exactly what it was. It was like little shop keys and little things like that. And they were like, oh yeah, just take what you want. The auctioneer is going to come and they're going to you know, do the whole estate sale thing, you know, after we finish cleaning up the home. And it's just really sad that the lady's items were stolen by, you know, the housekeeper. So this is why I think it's important that before, if you're elderly, or if, not even if you're just elderly, but if you have important things, you know, go ahead and have that will listed and have, you know, a home inventory sheet. Have these things prepared. That way, if something does happen, those items can go where you want them to go and not just stolen by, you know, some random housekeeper that comes to your home. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this kind of review. These are just looking at it from my point of view as someone that works in the home. I really did enjoy it. I may watch it again to pick up on things I missed before. So please tell me all your thoughts. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of the Netflix original series MAID. So, and also give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. Thank you very much and have a divine day. Goodbye.